into Gabby Williams, got hit in the forehead, and it caused 2 black eyes. And you can still see some of the remnants of them, and now she's sporting the bloody lip. She is as tough as they come.
Lexie Hull stepped onto court against the Chicago Sky with 2 black eyes, left with a busted lip, and still delivered one of the most fearless performances of her career. But it wasn't just her toughness that has fans talking. It was what she said after the game. Indiana's ability to dominate Chicago despite adversity shows why the Fever aren't just scraping into playoffs. They're reshaping their identity before our eyes. Think that's impressive? Wait until you hear Lexie Hull's post-game words. They could become the rallying cry for Indiana's playoff push. If you're hyped, drop a fired up in the comments of the Fever.
Bow, bow, bow! That's a W.
Made it out. All we gotta do is keep making it out.
Woo! W!
How do you keep a playoff push alive when your superstar is out and half your roster is banged up? That was a challenge facing Indiana the moment Caitlin Clark confirmed her season was over. Just days before the regular season ended, Clark announced, "I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season." She had been battling a persistent groin injury since mid-July that stubbornly refused to heal. For weeks, fans clung to hope she might return. But with that announcement, Indiana had to immediately rethink and rebuild their playoff strategy from scratch.
Caitlin Clark released a statement saying this: "I had hoped to share a better update, but I will not be returning to play this season. I spent hours in the gym every day with the singular goal of getting back out there. Disappointed isn't a big enough word to describe how I am feeling. I want to thank everyone who had my back through all the uncertainty. This has been incredibly frustrating, but even in the bad, there is good. The way the fans continue to show up for me and for the Fever brought me so much joy and important perspective. I am so proud of how this team has only gotten stronger through adversity this year. Now it's time to close out the season and claim our spot in the playoffs."
It wasn't just Caitlin Clark sidelined. Indiana's injury woes read like a full-blown crisis. Sophie Cunningham was done for the season. Sydney Carlson out with a torn ACL. Chloe BBY battling the issues. And Aerie McDonald lost to a broken foot. That's nearly an entire rotation wiped out. Heading into the final stretch of the regular season, the Fever were missing their franchise star, their enforcer, backup point guard, key forward, and veteran leadership all at once. Rather than fine-tuning chemistry, the coaching staff was forced to play constant musical chairs with the lineup every single game.
End of the day, she's been working her butt off to be able to get back, and we've kind of run out of time to be able to do it in a safe way, in a safe manner. And I think we've all been very open and upfront with her long-term health and wellness is the most important thing. And to be in a position that you need to be in to play at this time of the year, we just ran out of time to get her there.
Head coach Stephanie White didn't sugarcoat the situation. "It's frustrating all the injuries that she's had," she said, referencing Clark's struggles this summer. White made it clear that the groin issue simply ran out of time. "We ran out of time to be able to do it in a safe way, in a safe manner," she explained, emphasizing that Clark's long-term health mattered more than a rushed return. General Manager Amber Cox reinforced the message, stressing that protecting Clark's career was a priority over chasing a late-season win. Losing Clark, along with McDonald's playmaking, Cunningham's toughness, Carlson's veteran minutes, and BBY's range, left Indiana with almost no margin for error. Every possession carried weight. Every substitution was critical. Yet Clark's presence never wavered. She cheered on every basket, jumped to give high fives, and stayed engaged from start to finish, eyes sharp, voice commanding. Even off the court, her leadership radiated, keeping fans and teammates energized despite her absence from the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, number one, just all the injuries that she's had. Obviously, I wouldn't speak for her, but and the amount of work that she's put in to position herself to be able to play and then to, have to ultimately make this decision. There's disappointment. There's the obvious frustration that's come with not being healthy really for an entire season. But ultimately, I think the big picture is the most important thing, and those are conversations that we've continued to have. And the message has continued to be that it's not her long-term health and wellness and her being 100% when she's ready to go is the most important thing.
The stakes couldn't have been higher. Entering the week, the Fever clung to the 8th spot, just ahead of the Los Angeles Sparks, with one misstep threatening to knock them out of the playoff race entirely. Survival became the narrative. Could this short-handed roster endure long enough to secure a postseason berth? Could they make up for their absent superstar while still believing in themselves? It wasn't just a basketball challenge. It was a test of grit and resilience. That pressure set the stage for the Chicago game, transforming it into a crucible. Glamour had no place here. It was about toughness, precision, and rising to the moment. For Indiana, that intense environment became fuel, sparking performance that ignited their dominant response against the Chicago Sky.
The newcomer in Lexie Hull plays tonight. Boston on a kick out. Mitchell. Oh, she's hot to start. Mitchell finds Dantas, who rolls and lays it in.
When you look past the numbers, that 97-75 score tells a much deeper story. On paper, it's a solid 20-point win, but the context makes it monumental. Indiana didn't just beat Chicago, they dominated, sweeping the Sky 5 times this season by an average margin of 24 points per game. That's not just winning. It's control, so completed borders on humiliation. And yet, despite this dominance, the Fever weren't cruising through the standings. Heading into the game, they teetered on the playoff edge in 8th place, just one game ahead of the Los Angeles Sparks. Every loss could have been catastrophic, mounting pressure with each passing game. Instead, Indiana turned that fragility into fuel, channeling uncertainty into their most commanding performance at precisely the moment it mattered most.
Mitchell, will she add to it? Whips it back for Dantas. Kelsey Mitchell putting on a show here in Indy.
Look at the spin on the ball. Just one dribble over the head pad.
Mitchell's been brilliant on a kick out to Howard. Mitchell bouncing. Howard, the left hand.
And then getting a stop on the defensive end. I know Coach Stephanie White is happy with her team with that.
Mitchell being hounded by Atkins, trying to shake her. Mitchell bounces inside, and Howard gets the roll.
Kelsey Mitchell set the tone from the tip, just as she has all season. Dropping 20 points and dishing out 8 assists, she controlled the offense with poise, blending scoring and playmaking seamlessly. This wasn't a one-dimensional performance. Mitchell balanced, creating opportunities for her teammates while stepping up to score whenever Indiana needed a lift, especially in the first half.
Get the brooms out. Get the brooms out. I got my dustpan handy. We sweeping up the Chicago Sky. They are toast. They are done. We gonna hold on to our broom for this entire blog. Listen, the Indiana Fever just absolutely smoked the Chicago Sky. What a win. What a win.
Indiana didn't just secure playoff positioning with their 97-77 win. They redefined what this team is all about. This wasn't a single-player show. It was toughness, depth, and a roster that refused to crumble despite missing 5 key contributors. Sweeping Chicago by an average of 24 points cemented a team identity built on resilience. And let's be honest, it's even sweeter knowing Angel Reed wasn't on the floor, sidelined after her 8th technical foul. If Indiana can dominate while patched together and thrive amid Chicago's chaos, just imagine the impact once Caitlin Clark returns to a foundation already built to win. Comment, Fired Up with the Fever. If you're pumped, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.